Amid growing frustration among fans regarding the poor promotion of Jin's solo tour, a new development has caught public attention. Jungkook, the youngest member of BTS, was recently spotted arriving in Japan during the same time frame as Jin's concert dates, despite having no publicly scheduled appearances in the country. This comes just days after criticism intensified toward HYBE and Big Hit Music for their last-minute marketing efforts surrounding Jin's highly anticipated #Seokjin_P tour. The lack of advance promotion, coupled with the scheduling of a BTS Mozon e-theater screening on the same day as Jin's Japan show, has fueled speculation about internal mishandling, or worse, deliberate sidelining. Jungkook's unexpected presence in Japan is being interpreted by many fans as a form of silent protest or private show of support for Jin. While neither Jungkook nor HYBE has issued an official statement about his visit, the timing raises important questions. Analysts note that Jungkook's appearance might not be coincidental. BTS members typically have tightly managed schedules, and sudden international trips are rarely unplanned. This adds weight to the theory that Jungkook chose to cancel or shift personal or professional engagements to be present at his brother-like bandmate's concert. The silence from HYBE only adds to the speculation. If Jungkook's visit was purely coincidental or unrelated, one would expect either a denial or a clarification, but so far, there's been none. This incident could mark a subtle turning point in how BTS members navigate their relationship with the agency, especially when it comes to solo promotions. Jungkook's quiet move may not be a loud confrontation, but in the eyes of many fans, it speaks volumes, whether intended or not. The message is clear: Jin is not alone. And some believe this is just the beginning of more visible intragroup solidarity amid growing dissatisfaction with how BTS's solo activities are being handled. For many longtime BTS followers, this situation reflects a deeper concern: a lack of cohesive planning and equal treatment across solo projects. While Jungkook has previously enjoyed well-supported promotions, especially during the release of his solo debut, Golden, the contrast in how Jin's tour has been handled is becoming more difficult to ignore. Jin's #Seokjin_P tour, which kicked off in South Korea and includes 18 scheduled shows across Japan, the US, and Europe, represents a milestone moment, not only as his first major activity following military discharge, but also as a chance to reintroduce himself to a global audience. Yet, HYBE's decision to promote the Mozon e-theater screening, a 5-year-old archived concert, on the same day as Jin's Japan performance has sparked questions about the company's strategic intentions. Fans and industry watchers alike are pointing out that such overlapping schedules are rare, especially within a company that manages global acts with careful planning. It is difficult to see this clash as mere oversight. In this context, Jungkook's visit to Japan becomes a quiet but powerful symbol of intragroup support, potentially challenging the company's decisions without any need for public statements. It's also worth noting that this is not the first time members have subtly shown discontent toward HYBE's handling of BTS-related matters. Over the years, small gestures, like members promoting each other's releases or indirectly expressing frustration during live streams, have formed a pattern that speaks to internal dynamics fans are increasingly tuned into. What makes this incident stand out is the timing. Jin's tour represents a major step forward for BTS in the post-military era, and the group's unity remains a crucial selling point for both fans and the company's broader business. Jungkook choosing to stand beside Jin at this exact moment, possibly even at the expense of other obligations, may be more than a gesture of love. It could be a quiet form of advocacy, signaling to HYBE and the public that BTS members are watching how each of them is treated. In conclusion, Jungkook's unannounced arrival in Japan isn't just about showing up. It may be a well-considered statement of solidarity, sent without press releases or confrontation. It reflects both his loyalty to Jin and an underlying tension that may need to be addressed if HYBE hopes to maintain credibility with BTS fans moving into the group's next chapter. Whether the company responds or not, the message has already landed. First, it sets a precedent. If one of the most high-profile idols in the world is willing to subtly challenge his own agency's priorities in favor of standing by a fellow member, it empowers fans and other artists to expect more accountability and fairness in management practices. Jungkook didn't need to post a statement, join a live stream, or call anyone out directly. His presence alone in a place and time that speaks volumes delivered the message clearly: we notice and we care. Second, it raises critical questions about artist autonomy within the agency. HYBE, despite its growth and influence, has long promoted a narrative that BTS members are partners, not just managed artists. But fans are now questioning whether this partnership is equal in all stages of their careers, especially during solo activities. If Jin's global tour, which should have been a celebrated, highly publicized return, can receive such minimal promotion, then it challenges the trust fans and even members may have in the system. Third, the situation underscores the ongoing power of fan-driven media. ARMYs quickly connected the dots between HYBE's poor promotion, the Mozon, screening overlap, and Jungkook's presence in Japan. Hashtags such as #ProtectJin, #HYBBFair, and #JungkookWithJin began trending, amplifying concerns to mainstream K-pop media. It's this collective awareness that often pressures agencies to respond or course-correct, even if silently behind the scenes. Some insiders speculate that this situation could spark internal reviews within HYBE's management teams, especially regarding promotional timelines and scheduling conflicts. After all, with military discharges behind them, BTS is stepping into a new era, one that will depend heavily on public goodwill, member satisfaction, and transparent planning. In the meantime, fans will be watching closely to see whether Jungkook makes another public appearance at Jin's concert, or whether other BTS members follow suit in their own ways, perhaps through social media posts, live stream shoutouts, or even future collaborations. What remains clear is this: Jungkook's gesture was not random. It was timely, intentional, and resonant. Not just as a brotherly act, but as a quiet challenge to an agency that still appears to be struggling with how to balance its biggest artist's solo pursuits. And for many, that challenge speaks louder than words ever could. This situation may also serve as a defining moment in how BTS as a group and as individuals chooses to manage its relationship with HYBE moving forward. In the early years, BTS often had little choice but to accept management decisions due to industry hierarchies and limited power. However, now, with over a decade of global success behind them, the dynamics have shifted. BTS is no longer dependent on HYBE. HYBE is dependent on BTS. Jungkook's silent move highlights this shift in power. If one of HYBE's most bankable stars can express discontent, however discreetly, and rally millions of fans behind a message of fairness and solidarity, the implications are far-reaching. Other artists under the label, and even those outside it, will take note. Artist advocacy, even in subtle forms, is becoming a powerful tool in an industry long dominated by strict top-down control. Additionally, the business impact of these actions should not be underestimated. Fans are increasingly choosing what to support based on how they perceive labels treat their artists. In this case, many ARMYs have already pledged to prioritize Jin's tour content over HYBE-promoted screenings like Mozon, and some have even begun calling for boycotts of unrelated projects to demand better treatment for Jin. This growing fan awareness and critical thinking could pressure HYBE to rethink its strategy, not just for Jin but for all members, especially as they return from military service one by one. The company's long-term vision must adapt to a reality where solo activities aren't side projects, but core components of BTS's evolving identity. Moreover, Jungkook's actions highlight the importance of peer support within idol culture. In an industry where artists are often pitted against one another, even unintentionally, the image of Jungkook standing behind Jin, not with words but with presence, reinforces the bond that has always been central to BTS's appeal. That unity may now become a quiet form of resistance and accountability. In summary, while the moment may seem small, one artist appearing at another's concert, its symbolic weight is massive. It challenges the narrative of corporate control, reaffirms the importance of artistic fairness, and reminds the world that BTS's strength has always come from within, from their loyalty to each other, and from their shared values. If HYBE fails to listen now, the silence will not last. Actions speak louder than promotions, and in this case, Jungkook's presence has become a statement louder than any billboard. Whether or not HYBE chooses to acknowledge it, the message is now written clearly in the eyes of millions. Jin is not alone, and BTS is still, above all else, a family.